Lots of people define bullying in different ways. How would you define it?
I would define bullying as a situation in which someone who uses their strength, or power to oppress or intimidate others, generally others that are weaker than themselves. I think that's the way I generally see bullying. Someone who has power and strength, and they use that to go after the weak in an oppressive manner.
You recently wrote an article entitled "Fade Out Bullying" by focusing on the bystander. What inspired you to focus on this approach to solving our nation's problem with bullying?
So the way I see it is this: in any given population or community, about 5%, let's just say, are bullies. An equal, maybe a similar percentage of people are victims, victimized by these bullies. That leaves a big chunk of us in the middle. And I call those people bystanders. And my philosophy is really this, that besides every bully are several bystanders. If we make up about 80 to 85% of any given situation, we can make a difference. We indeed can fade out bullying if we focus on that bystander population. And the reality is that being a bystander and doing nothing about it is tantamount to being a bully yourself. If you have a voice that you can give to the voiceless and you don't exercise that right, then you do nothing to help solve this problem.
What specifically do you suggest a bystander can do to take action to help fade out bullying?
I think a bystander has a few tools that they can tap into, and one of those major tools that they have available to them is something that I call the arm method. Because if you think about it, a bystander is central to an entire bullying relationship. A bystander can have a connection to the bully. They can also have a connection to the victim and a connection to people in higher places, an authority, a person of authority, for instance. So if you think about it, with this arm method, a bystander can be in a position to approach a bully about what they're doing, about their behavior. They can also report that behavior, what they've observed, to somebody of authority. To me also, most importantly, they can motivate the victim. So if you think about it, a bystander is in a very powerful position. They have a stretch at 3 angles. In some cases, I really believe that a bystander can actually tap into all 3 of those angles within their toolbox. If I was a bystander observing a situation, depending on the situation, it's possible that I may get a chance to approach the bully in a civilized and diplomatic way. I'm not implying and suggesting that bystanders jump in harm's way and expose themselves to danger, no. But if I was to approach a bully, maybe it's after the fact, maybe it's after they've said something inappropriate to the victim. And I can talk to them logically out of the heat of the moment. If I'm tapping into the other tool, I report the bully to an authority, someone who's perhaps has a position of power over all in that situation. And that's also important because sometimes the victim is too afraid or too threatened to go and report what is happening to them, and the bystander can do that in a very neutral way and probably make things happen because they're not coming from a biased position. Thirdly, the third piece within that toolbox is motivating the victim. Many times we can go up to the victim and say, listen, Cheyenne, you don't have to take that from anyone. I've known you almost for 10 years now, and I see all the important things that you possess within you that symbolize strength. I believe you need to start finally standing up for yourself, or just walking away and not enduring this emotional battering that you're allowing yourself to be tormented by. So the bystander can certainly use the arm method to either approach the bully, report the bullying incident, or motivate the victim, give them a little bit of strength, empower them. And in many cases, they can use all 3 as effectively as possible.